Hello, and welcome to AirgunWeb.com, your home for honest, real-world airgun reviews and information where we bring you the facts, not fluff. I love having the opportunity to work with new brands and new product lines. Well, this one may not be totally new, but it's certainly new to me. The BSA line of PCPs has caught my attention for a while, so when the folks at Pyramid Air asked me if I'd like to take one out for a test drive, you can bet I jumped at the chance. Now this is the BSA Scorpion 1200 SE in 22 caliber. There's a lot of really good things going on with this airgun. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm completely new to the BSA PCP line of airguns, so this should be a real treat. The 22 caliber Scorpion comes sporting a fairly lightweight ambidextrous composite stock that feels really good when you pull it to the shoulder. It comes complete with sling studs as well, making it easy to attach a bipod for bench shooting. There are no open sights, so you'll have to pick out some nice glass to go with this beautiful airgun. I've selected one of my favorite scopes, the Hawke 2.5 to 10 by 44 varmint side focus. The half mil dot reticle and super clear optics are a great fit for the BSA Scorpion. The rifle has a smallish 172cc air reservoir, but it can be filled up to 235 bar versus most that top out at 200 bar. There's a good reason for this, and we're going to get to that a little bit later. Now you can check your remaining pressure using the integrated pressure gauge located in the forearm of the rifle. The rifle comes with a spring-loaded 10-shot rotary magazine that appears to be mostly metal. It operated very smoothly throughout all my testing. The rear bolt cocks the rifle and loads the pellet. The action is very smooth and does not feel rough or gritty. The safety is located on the left-hand side of the receiver. Now the trigger on the BSA is absolutely amazing, and it will undoubtedly spoil you. It's perhaps one of the best out-of-the-box triggers that I've ever tested. The BSA Scorpion is a PCP airgun, and like all PCPs, you gotta fill them. Now most of the time you're gonna fill your rifle up to the 3000 PSI. But the Scorpion can take up to 235 bar or 3400 PSI. For this I use my Air Venturi carbon fiber tank, and it's 4500 PSI, so it lets me get the maximum pressure into my gun, and that gives me the maximum number of usable shots. Now before you can go shooting, we've got to load the 10-shot magazine. To do this, pull back on the bolt, and there's a release on the side. Slide that forward, and the magazine pops right out. So here's how we load our magazine. What we're going to do is insert a pellet into the hole. It should catch on that O-ring. Now we're going to rotate the magazine counterclockwise and just hold it in place with your finger and just continue to rotate and load. That's simple. Rotate and load. Okay, we're done. Now to reinsert the magazine, simply input it in our rifle, close the lock, return the bolt, and the rifle's ready to fire. Now I do have the rifle on safe. You know what I'm going to do? This rifle's a little bit loud, so go ahead and wear my ear protection today. So when you're ready to fire, we'll go ahead and aim it at our desired target, release the safety, and gently squeeze the trigger. We'll go ahead and put the gun back on safe. Let's go ahead and do that again. Cock the bolt, aim the gun at our intended target, release the safety, squeeze the trigger. Safety back on. Cock the bolt, aim the gun at our intended target, release the safety, and squeeze the trigger. Now the Scorpion is a bit loud, that's why I was wearing my ear protection. But it's otherwise a dream to shoot. Consistent accuracy is very easy to achieve, especially when you have a good bipod and a great scope. Now here's where things get really interesting. Most PCP airguns operate on a balance between the valve spring and the hammer spring. Too much pressure and you get valve lock. Too much impact from the hammer and you're going to waste a lot of air. The solution to this is to have a regulated valve that measures the exact amount of air for each shot. Now this feature is usually only found on very expensive competition air guns, but it's also part of the BSA Scorpion. And this is why the higher pressure in the cylinder doesn't create a valve lock. The regulator is able to measure out that exact pressure and deliver a very consistent velocity from shot to shot until the overall pressure in the cylinder can't provide the required pressure to the regulator. Okay, now what does that mean to shot count, energy, and more importantly, accuracy? Let's go ahead and see. I've tested a few different pellets in the Scorpion, and for now I've settled on the 15.89 grain JSB domed pellets. Now I shot a 40-shot string across a crony, and the extreme spread was only 35.3 FPS across all 40 shots. The average velocity was 923.5 feet per second, equating to about 30 foot-pounds at the muzzle. And that's not even the really good part yet. Because you have such a consistent velocity from shot to shot and from start to finish, accuracy was simply amazing. I've got 3 shot groups to show you here. The first was shot at 30 yards. It's what we expected. It's really good. The second was shot at 50 yards. Now, I pulled one shot and I knew it when I did it. So for giggles, I just put an extra shot down range just to prove it was me and not the rifle. But again, that's not the best part. The third group was shot at 80 yards. Now I used the first shot to get my holdover and then, well, I'll let you take a look at these groups. So this final summary is going to be pretty short and sweet. I love the accuracy, the consistency, and amazing shootability of the BSA Scorpion. It is a little loud, but the benefits far outweigh the report of this rifle. I have to say that I'm most impressed by the regulated valve and also the trigger. Let's start with the valve. The regulated valve takes the guesswork out of where your next pellet's going to land at range. Shot 35 is going to land exactly where shot 4 landed, and that's a huge advantage within the field. Now the trigger is your connection to any gun. If you have a rough, hard trigger, you don't really feel the gun, and you're not part of the gun like you could be. With the trigger on the BSA, the rifle becomes an extension of your person and delivers an amazing shooting experience. This is definitely a great rifle, and it may become part of my collection. I'd like to take a moment and thank the folks at Pyramid Air for sponsoring our channel and this review. When you're looking for your next air gun or you're looking to fill your next airgun supply order, please visit www.pyramidair.com or give them a call at 888-262-5600. 4867, and please be sure to let them know that you learned about them right here at AirgunWeb. When you're looking for honest, real-world airgun reviews, think AirgunWeb, where we tell you the facts, not fluff. I'm Rick Utzer with AirgunWeb.com. Thanks again for watching.